What up, everybody? Welcome to the Reseller Room podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about starting businesses and helping people grow their businesses. And right now, we have Nerd Nation, Michael in the house, who is a massive business these days.
Yes, unfortunately.
And very recently opened up a store and has quite the journey for how he got there. We've hung out quite a bit and become good friends, so I'm very excited. Thank you for coming on.
No, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. How long have we known you now? Like 4 years?
4 years,
Yeah.
almost 5. It's crazy.
Man.
Almost 5. Yeah,
That's cool.
that number is crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, so we kind of got to know each other through our reselling journeys, and I'm curious, like, for you, I want to talk about your journey from where you were to where you are now, because it's very impressive, very inspiring to me and to, I think, a lot of people that will learn your journey through this podcast, or if they know you through your channel or otherwise. But, like, how did you get started into reselling, and what did that look like in the beginning?
Yeah, so it started off kind of weird. So I just kind of got back into the Pokemon hobby. You know, we love Pokemon.
Heck
I was
yeah.
ripping packs, and then I was just like, you know what? I kind of want to make a YouTube channel. So I did that, watching a lot more YouTube, and then somehow I stumbled upon a Cincinnati picker video.
Hey.
I have no idea how I got there.
Yep.
And then it transitioned, so it just auto played, and it played a Phoenix resale video where he found a Charizard at a garage sale.
Shadowless, right?
Yes, I know you got it graded. I don't remember if it's
it was
shadowless.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So like maybe I should start going to more garage sales, because like I'm not gonna lie, I know you love garage sales. I'd never been to a garage sale before.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ever.
Wow.
And so I started doing that, just flipping like random things that I'll never forget. Some of like the random items I bought in that first trip. Like I was so excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought like this leg compressor.
Oh,
And
gosh.
it cost like $40 to ship. It was so heavy.
Did you make money on it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely did.
All right.
Respect the hustle.
And then I bought like this G.I. Joe like ship, and it was probably like,
Oh gosh.
it was so big.
Yeah.
Sold that. I did make profit, but it was just like I paid 50 cents for it. So like, I mean,
Wow.
you were gonna make something on it. But started doing that, and then I started watching more of his videos, and then I heard about this Chase guy, so I checked out your channel, and now we're here. So
Okay.
In a hotel in Milwaukee.
yes.
Living the dream.
Yeah. So it's been quite the journey. Was just doing mostly Pokemon cards on the YouTube channel, and then we'll talk more about the store obviously, but
Yeah.
now I basically own half of a card store.
Yeah.
So
which
it's
is
half cards, half video games. So
which is very cool to see. So take me through a few of the other steps that got you there. So started selling on eBay, kind of casually, going to garage sales, doing your thing.
yep. Wife thought I lost my mind.
Yep.
She
Understand.
sees the things I'm bringing home, and I brought home a used toothbrush and sold it. So she was like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd question your sanity too.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
lost your mind.
That
like-
day, I bought 2 toothbrushes at garage sales. It was a Justin Bieber singing one and an electric toothbrush. That
Yeah.
was the used one.
Okay.
So,
I'm jumping in to share about today's video sponsor, Flipper. In our reselling business, we do a lot with video games. We're always looking for ways to become more effective and efficient in our processes. One tool that we have found incredibly effective is the use of Flipper, allowing us to process dozens of games in mere seconds. So how does Flipper work? Simply lay out the games, whether they're in a bin, on a table, whatever it is, lay them out so you can see all the spines, pull out the Flipper app, point your camera at the games, and the rest is magic. Flipper will analyze all the cover arts, titles, text on the image, and they will begin to formulate what the price charting value is of the collection. Not only that, they'll give you individual values of each game in that collection so that you can make the best buying decisions. This app has become a critical part of our operations here at Caterpie. And whether we're out at a garage sale, we're at a convention, or we're just shopping around and we want to know the value of games quickly, Flipper has been a great resource for us. So here's what you need to know, kind of a little bit behind the scenes. So how Flipper works is it's pulling value both from price charting and recent eBay solds. So you always have the most up-to-date information on market value. It'll greatly improve your ability to accurately and efficiently tally up in total games in collections, buyouts, or even at a game store. All you need is your phone and the Flipper app, and you're ready to go. One of the things that we love is it's a newer service, and the guys over there, the engineers, the designers, everyone are putting more and more time and energy into it to make it even better, always releasing new updates and new features along the way. Like this week, they've added even more enhanced data like condition pricing, sell-through rates, and price distributions. The best part of all, it's available to you guys right now. You can go to the Flipper website, FLIPPR, today. Give it a try and let us know in the comments. What has that experience been like for you? We love the app and we know that you guys will too. And if you want to try out their pro version, I would encourage you to do so. You can use our exclusive discount code ROOM20 for 20% off your first month. We think you'll love it. Thank you for Flipper for sponsoring this part of the video. And now let's head back to the conversation.
Okay, so continue on. Like, you grew your eBay business a little bit, kind of casually, and then at some point, things started to expand a little bit. You started to add in some video games,
Yep,
and add in some Amazon.
yes.
So how did that kind of like progression happen?
I basically pulled out my game collection, and I realized like, oh, some of these that I would have never guessed actually had value. Like Jurassic the Hunter or whatever for 360 was in there.
Okay.
One of the Burst Limit Dragon Ball Z was in there.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
were both pretty solid ones.
Yep.
And I would have never guessed that those had value.
Yep.
And so I sold those. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should find some more.
Interesting.
Found a few at garage sales or thrift stores. Started checking out pawn shops, doing the grind that everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Or was doing. Not a whole lot of people are doing that grind anymore. And then I realized like the profit potential selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
Just from, watching you or Caleb. And I just was like, this just makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
And I actually had a full-time job. I was a web developer. Honestly doing really good. Like the job, like I actually pay myself, technically, I pay myself less now. So taxes. We don't want to talk about taxes, but yes, I pay myself less now. But I saw the potential, and like you don't have to have the inventory because like we were in a lot smaller house then. And so like I didn't want to carry inventory. Like I lost my garage spot like pretty quick with the business because of eBay. Which I know you guys understand that. Like with eBay, you have to carry a lot of inventory.
The cost of storage is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cost of storage at Amazon is cheap.
Yeah.
I
Amazon,
have never
FBA.
looked at my storage fees.
Yeah.
I told someone that, and that does sell on Amazon, and they thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, it'll sell. So
for those that don't know, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon, which for me personally too, like realizing that you could do that was like such a game changer for me. It was about 2012 that I started selling on Amazon, and probably like two or 3 years later, finally bit the bullet and did FBA and was like, oh my gosh, like this stuff is being sent to warehouses. I don't have to store it. I mean, I'm working out of my mom's basement at that time. Funny enough, I live in that house now because I bought it years ago. But like, it was a game changer because it just like space was a real limitation, and you could get pretty good money for selling stuff on Amazon, and it quickly helped me to realize there's potential to like really like scale this thing. Tell me about like, okay, so you got a regular job, at this time, like what was the progression into making like Amazon your thing? Like, what was that process for you?
scary.
Yeah.
It was just scary. I mean, it was just like, I think I saw the opportunity cost. I think I'd gotten to the point where I was pretty unhappy with my job.
Okay.
I still have a good relationship with that company. But I was building, like, they were working me too hard, in my opinion. I had asked for a raise. They said, we can't give you a raise. I asked for an assistant. They gave me an assistant and then fired him like 2 weeks later.
Wow.
So, like,
Bummer.
I mean, through the course of working for them for 3 years, I think I built 60 to 100 websites.
Wow.
And they weren't like small websites. Like, some of them were government websites.
Wow.
So it was just like I made it never launched, which was another thing that was really weird about doing websites is like sometimes you would make a website and then they would basically stop communicating and would never launch it, even though they paid for it.
Interesting.
That's so bizarre.
The governor of Kansas, I don't know if I'm even, well, it's so old now, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. She paid for a website. The governor of Kansas never launched it.
Fascinating.
Well, just in case.
And it was done. That's the thing is some of them, like, they're completely done. They never launch it. And I just got burnt out on it. I was just like, it was very unfulfilling. Yeah. I will say I had a horrible manager and he knows it. So like, it's very well known that he was not a good manager. So, shout out to JD.
I hope he's watching.
He probably won't, but he might. It might get sent to him. That would be funny. But it wasn't helpful. And I found this new thing. It was exciting. You know, I was actually doing my dream job. My dream job was web development, web design. Yeah. And this just seemed way more interesting. I had no idea that you can make this into a career. I used to flip stuff on eBay. I had a traveling job in like 16 and 17. So I was going to antique malls, buying stuff and flipping it on eBay.
When did you realize?
Wow.
When did you realize for you that this could be a full-time thing?
When I sold a toothbrush.
It was the Justin Bieber toothbrush. That was your pinnacle moment.
I think like just seeing
honey,
the
I'm quitting my
opportunities-
job.
The opportunities of that, like there's, I mean, opportunity everywhere. You talk about it all the time. And like there's always more inventory. Yeah. No matter what you sell. And like it doesn't matter what you sell. Yeah. I've met someone that they solely flip weights on eBay, and that sounds miserable.
That's
amazing. I'm sure.
I bet they're really strong though.
And they seemed
some heavy packages to ship right there.
No, I mean, I'm sure their post person hates them because they use priority weight or priority or flat rate.
He lifts large flat rate,
Wow.
70 pounders, man.
Just fill them with dumbbells as long as it's under 70.
So it's just like
you could see the opportunities everywhere, and there was also this like other side of it where you're like, I'm just really not loving this main job. You were married at the time when you went full time?
Yes. Yeah, I had to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think like opportunities everywhere is one part of the equation that's important, but like there's also some numbers and some risk. So I mean, it had to be. You mentioned it's scary. Like, was there like a number part of the equation? Was there like any part of like how does somebody know when they should go from part-time to full-time? You didn't have kids at the time.
Correct.
So there is a little bit
that
less
helped.
In that sense, but like you're leaving a stable income, like insurance, all these things.
That's what I was going to ask. What does the transition point look like, or what did it look like, that part-time to full-time jump?
So I did part-time, honestly, for a very short amount of time. I think part-time just flipping on eBay. I was like flipping cards. So this is 21. I was flipping cards on eBay, which I don't recommend flipping cards on. I don't think I would recommend flipping cards the way I was doing it horribly. Okay. So I started that in 21 and I was doing it. And then that's when I started watching a few more YouTube videos. And I think it was like March. It was March. I started watching a few more videos and I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. Like garage sale season started and I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. And in May, I told my manager, who I thought I had a good relationship with him. I was like, I'm just not very happy. And then basically they had a meeting and they're like, yeah, so like if you want to leave, you can. They're like, you know, give us 2 months and And I was like, okay. And it worked out. They're like, as long as you get your work done, we don't expect you to work 40 hours. And so I think that was another thing that was unfulfilling about the job is I was very efficient. I like to talk to people, if you didn't know that.
100%.
And so I would talk to people. I'd watch YouTube videos. I'd get on Facebook, but I always got my work done no matter what. Like I was very efficient. And so I would just knock out my work and then I'd go work on the eBay business.
Yeah.
And then I started working on Amazon, and some of the stuff I did on Amazon, I don't know how I'm still able to sell on Amazon because I'm way better now. Like, but some of the things I did, like broken cases, like they got sent in. Like, I don't know why I didn't get banned for selling that on Amazon, but
Acceptable condition.
yeah. No, I probably did acceptable on that, but
Yeah.
but honestly, I don't know how I got the thumbs up because my wife does not take risks.
Wow.
She does not take risks. So like, I don't even know when it finally shifted in her head. Like, okay, this is real.
It's wild to me that you just kind of went for it. It was a risk, and I definitely commend you and respect you, especially seeing how it's gone for you.
Yeah.
But you've gotten to this point now where, in my opinion, you've kind of taken an even bigger risk. From my personal perspective, it's a question I've been asked hundreds of times, if not thousands.
Game store.
When are you opening a game store? When's it going to happen? When are you doing the game store? And I've always said, well, I don't think I'm ever going to do that. There's just a lot of overhead. There's a lot more employees that I'd have to have. There's a lot more. I don't want operating hours. I don't want all these things. So I think it's a really big risk, and I think it's a very scary one. And you have done it. So
yes, we did.
How in the world do you go from a thriving Amazon business, multiple contractors, multiple guys helping you out? You're doing huge volume. Things are going great. Like, how did you get from that to taking this risk to opening a physical store, and why?
So I think it's just need. I think also opportunity. I think that actually that's probably the better answer. Probably opportunity.
It's a common theme for you.
In Kansas City, we don't have local game stores.
Okay.
So it was actually crazy. I think 2 days before we signed our lease, maybe one day, a new local game store popped up, and I was like,
They were thinking
no,
the same thing.
this was my market. I was going to corner this in Kansas City. They're a lot smaller than us. So it's like a lot different realm. I think they're doing great. And I think we do try and support each other as much as possible. But I saw that and I was like, oh no, did I like, cause I knew I was walking to sign the lease in a day.
Yeah.
And I thought I screwed up. But in Kansas City, there's 2 that are 40 minutes from me. So that's like not a local game store. And then we have a chain. It's called Vintage Stock, similar to like a Game Exchange or Disc Replay, similar to that. But I would say the general public opinion is not positive on it. Like, people will go there. I go there whenever they have their buy 2 get 1 free sale. Because they do stack it the right way.
How many people are in the greater Kansas City area?
I don't know.
Within like a 30-minute circle.
250,000? I don't know. I'm not a geologist.
That's what it is.
Enough.
It's a game store.
It's a decent amount.
Enough.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a pretty good size city.
There's a need that wasn't being filled. I saw the opportunity, but then it also opened up possibility to get people out of my basement. So
yeah, because there's that whole dynamic there with, I mean, we know it, just people coming inside your house, like basement businesses or garage businesses. Yeah, exactly.
So how's it going? You've had a soft opening for about a month as we're recording this, and you're approaching a grand opening, and maybe that'll be about the same time as right now. So what's the name of your store, and where is it exactly for people that want to visit, and how's it going?
Yeah, so it's Nerd Nation, but on Google it's Nerd Nation Games and Collectibles.
Okay, and where's it at?
It's in Shawnee, Kansas, which is Kansas City suburb. And it's just absolutely killing it. Like
Your smile just changed, man.
Yeah.
That was,
it's the best decision I've ever made for the business. I don't really have a downside of the store right now. Like, you know, we talked about overhead, like having a physical location, having additional employees. Like there are downsides. Like we can talk through some of the downsides, but like we had a number of how we needed to do in the store to cover overhead. And we 5x'd it, almost 6x'd it in the first month.
Dang.
And like, I could have never predicted that. Like I talked to other game stores and they're like, you know, there might be days where like the weekly goal, like you do in a day. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Cause I also like, you know, we still sell on Amazon. So like there's this perception that we are only going to put the good stuff on Amazon. We have most Pokemon games right now in the store. We have a lot of really good CIB retro because like we would never sell that on Amazon.
Yeah.
And so like we have a ton of great actual inventory in the store, which has been interesting going to a con because now you're buying for a store and Amazon.
So I want to shift gears a little bit here. You've talked a lot about, you know, taking risks and you've had different points in your career, in your business, you know, trying things out, going out to garage sales and then going a little bit deeper into it and then jumping into full-time online. And now you've kind of taken this huge risk. But I do want to acknowledge as well that like the whole time you've been seeing the opportunities, you've been connecting with people. Connecting with people to learn from, to learn with, to grow with. You're very good at connecting. You go to a convention and it's like, you know, a lot of these people.
You've introduced us to so many people.
Like countless people. And thank you for that. Like you've introduced me to some amazing people, some of my favorite people that I know now in the business. So like there is a lot of calculation here to your risk. And when you open the store, tell me about some of the ways that you kind of put yourself in a position to reduce the risk as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, reducing risk. So you were talking about vendors. You were talking about the vendors you met.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did opening the store, and I'm going to give a shout out to LA Video Games. I stole the idea from them, but they have vendor cases in their store. So, and we stole that idea and I love it so much. Our rent is expensive.
Yeah.
And our vendor cases cover almost half of the entire rent. It doesn't cover, you know, electrical and all that. Like once you start getting into the little fine details of the things that add up, but it covers half our rent. So every month, half of our rent should be covered as long as our vendors stay in the store.
Yeah.
And as long as they're happy, they're going to stay in the store. And like some of the vendors are just absolutely killing it. Like, I would say like, I mean, some of them are doing 4 figures plus. So,
wow. So they pay a monthly fee. To be in the store and you give them 100% of the sale. Is that how it works?
So they get a vendor case, they get a key and they can fill it with whatever they want. There's a few fine details like no consoles, things like that.
Yeah.
And then they get 100% of the sale because you just Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever directly.
That's amazing.
And it just goes straight to them. We take a picture, text it to them.
When you first told me about that as a whole, I was like, wow, that is just smart because on the risk side of things,
that's huge.
You don't have to worry about keeping the shelves full as well because
you got really cool stuff all the time.
Yeah, other people are bringing their best because they want it to get bought. And it only looks and reflects well on everything else that you have.
One of the vendors had a $2,000 card sell.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the first month already.
First month. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the soft opening. Yeah,
you can't complain about that. Like,
yeah.
And they are also advertising the store because that's where their stuff is. You know, you spend $150, $250, $350 to sell at a con, but you have a con every day in my store because of all the vendors.
Yeah. So basically what I'm kind of pulling from that is like just another way that you reduce risk, and you're going to continue to reduce risk, is you have the Amazon side, and you have the store side, which is really cool because you've added a significant stream of revenue, and that actually reduces risk. And then there's the other side of like it's increased the opportunity because you weren't really buying that many CIB games.
Nope, we didn't buy
retro games and stuff because you just were like really dialed into the Amazon side of the business, and that doesn't make sense for Amazon. It's kind of similar to us with like Whatnot versus Amazon versus, you know, eBay or other things. It's like, yeah, Whatnot's a very like, we have unique things to sell there. CIB Retro, kind of what you're doing in the store in some ways. And then Amazon, it's kind of a different model. So I think that's actually really cool that like you constantly have seeked new opportunities and also have reduced some risk in this process, even though it introduces other risks. I think the way you've done it is very smart, and you've learned from a lot of other store owners and people, and just taken a lot of things, have a huge space. It's pretty awesome. It's my kind of store: Pokemon cards, collectibles, video games, retro, glorious stuff. And dude, I'm just super excited to see the smile on your face about how the first month is gone. I was nervous for you, I'm not gonna lie. And,
I was too.
Yeah, I know you were. So I'm just, it energizes me. It excites me to see how things are going.
And so for somebody that has a business and they're about to enter one of these transition points or take a big risk, what's the biggest piece of advice you would have for them before they maybe make that jump?
Do a lot of research. Like, before we decided we were going to do the game store, I talked to a lot of other game store owners just to make sure that it was even plausible, like that it made sense. I think if you just jump in blindly, it's probably not going to go well. I will say maybe if I open a game store blindly, it might do okay. So like just seeing how ours did. But you got to do a lot of research. Like that is something that I got from my dad. Is he's really big on like researching every single thing before he makes a decision. And I think I've done that, but I've also gotten from my mom being a little risky. So my mom was a big entrepreneur growing up too.
Okay.
So
yeah. And then for you, Chase, like more on the risk side and knowing you and your risk tolerance is generally low. How do you calculate it in your head? Is it more?
Yeah. So I think for me, and one thing that's been discerned a lot through this conversation is find as many ways as possible to reduce your risk and increase your opportunity. Like I just think that's been a theme of this conversation. I think that's a lot of the reasons things have worked so well for you. And a lot of the reasons that they worked well for us is because we're always willing to have diversified opportunities, diversified platforms, different ways of doing things. If this one fails, we can put more into this one because we're already doing it with Amazon, with Whatnot, with content in our case. So, and then also like connecting with the right people, which you are also very, very good at. And I just think that's so incredibly important, connecting with people that you can become friends with, learn from, grow with, or become business partners with.
Yeah.
Like doing that innately increases your opportunity and decreases your risk.
Yes.
Yep. Like
exactly. Yeah, I think that's absolutely huge. I think that is an invaluable thing to pull from what Michael's brought to the table today. So, dude, thank you for being here. This was an absolute blast. And everybody, check out Nerd Nation, Shawnee, Kansas, today. Yeah. It's open.
We're open 7 days a week, 10 to 8.
Tell them we sent you when you go.
Yeah, use code Caterpie at checkout.
Good luck.
Yeah, see what happens.
Good luck.